Okay,
Oh
guys,
god.
this is Star Wars Media here. I'm Dion.
And I'm tragic. Oh, I'm Chris. Hello.
uh, we're off to a
My
great
piercing is
start.
taken off.
It's firing
Yeah.
emergency booster engines.
Oh god, R4, can you boost the power? Oh god, I hate myself.
Oh, not as much as you're gonna hate the news that we got today.
Yeah, 'cause I ain't heard everything apparently.
So, obviously you heard about the fact that Kevin Feige is going to be possibly involved in producing a Star Wars movie that's coming out.
Hmm.
We don't have confirmation on what Star Wars movie. It could be another anthology movie. It could be one of the next trilogy movies. It could be like the trilogy that supposedly the Game of Thrones writers are working on. It could be the one that the infamous Ruin Johnson is working on.
Yeah.
But one thing we know for sure is he's not alone. He's going to be working
True.
alongside Kathleen the Bitch Kennedy.
Oh, she's staying.
Yes, she's staying.
Oh. I'd say it could be worse. Gotta keep
Could
some
it
ambition.
though?
I don't know actually. We're
Because I
gonna have to
mean,
roll with it. We're gonna have to roll with it.
that's not the worst part. Because
What?
I've been I didn't just like watch one YouTube video and come here and just start talking about it because I'm not some YouTubers. Yes, my crossed eyes are going at you, but I actually read some articles as well, and there's a few sources saying that the person in question that Feige is apparently speaking to about a major role in these movies. Jesus Christ, I look pasty white in this picture. Is Brie Larson.
Mm. Right.
Just the.
I can take that. I can take it on certain conditions. And obviously I don't run this, but it's like it's fine as long as it's no shoved agenda. That's all I would ask for. I don't
Yes.
think she's terrible. I watched Kong Skull Island and she was, I think it was that, she was good in that.
I don't think her acting is the problem at all. It's her. It's her way of talking about things that's the problem.
Mm.
Like, I can't remember what movie. I think it might even have been Captain Marvel, but she was like, no, I think she got criticised about something or something. I can't remember specifically, but there was some sort of criticism, and she was like, yeah, but not all movies are made for 40-year-old white men. Bitch, you're white,
Yeah, I
so
know,
don't
yeah.
try and bring white into it. And men,
I think it was
men has nothing
about,
to do with it.
I think it was about movie critics, I think, because, like, you could have a movie, like, aimed for, like, the black community, say. Like, it's a movie for them. Not, like, in a criticizing way, like something, like Black Panther, for example. Something for them, but with the with all the critics, like, the vast majority of them would be middle-aged to older-age white men. So the demographic you'd be aiming to have the movie mainly for may not necessarily get to see it in, like, a critic sort of
Well,
way. Which
even that's
is
not really
meaning
accurate.
is good, wording wasn't very good, I
See,
think
that's
is
the
what it
thing.
was.
It's not even accurate because when you think about it, just because most of the critics are old white men, that's not going to stop the public from seeing the movie.
True.
The cinemas aren't going to be like, no, our critics are all white, so we can't let black people in. White power.
Mm.
No, that's not how it is. And
Uh,
like, yes, there's a lot of old white men that are critics. That's just the way it is. It's like it's like when people try and bring gender into the workplace of like having unequal pay. Like, yes, men generally get paid more, but it's because on average they work more hours. On average, they
yeah.
work harder jobs. Now, that's not to say that females can't work those jobs or those hours. It's just the trends. And it's the same thing here. Just because the critics are white doesn't mean that the minorities aren't going to see it. Anyway, back to the thing, back to the actual point. Brie Larson is
Mm.
bad for Star Wars. She was bad for Marvel. She could be bad for Star Wars because, as if Star Wars didn't have enough bloody toxicity already, she's going to bring her
Mm.
toxic fan base over, and then the toxic
Yeah.
haters of hers are going to come running over as well. And then there's going to be the
Yeah.
toxic Star Wars haters, the toxic Star Wars fans, the toxic people in the middle, and then there's going to be the toxic fans of Brie Larson, the toxic haters of Brie Larson, and they're all going to feed into each other, and then it's just going to be one massive clusterfuck.
Yeah, but don't forget the people that are labelled toxic, but they're not actually toxic. They just have a dislike about things and a valuable reasoning.
Oh yeah,
But they're classed as toxic because simply they don't like it for
like
some reason.
I've been in a few YouTube comment sections and I've been called toxic for not liking The Last Jedi, and I'm just like, no, it just wasn't paced very well. Rey hasn't had sufficient character development to be able to explain why she's able to crack a fucking mountain. Like, obviously not literally an entire mountain, but she's standing on the rocks on the island with Luke and she's cracking the floor, and then pick up fucking tons of stones when Luke was struggling with pebbles after he'd had some form of training. Like, bitch, please. Just because you're a female. Like, that's another thing people need to understand. It's not... Oh, fuck off. It's not that... It's not that people... It's not that people like me have something against, like, females having strong characters. It's not,
I'm all
like...
for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sorry, Terminator 2, Sarah Connor, probably one of my favourite female characters of all time. She's a fucking badass. But, like, she wasn't just good at everything. She had her character flaws. Rey doesn't have... Rey's only character flaw is the fact that she's too perfect for her own good.
Yeah.
Her character flaw is that she believes she can do anything. And because of the writers not having the balls, they can't show that she can't do everything. Like,
yeah.
You look at fucking Anakin Skywalker. He struggled with his emotions. He wasn't trusted by the council. He felt like he was being held back. He had the torment and trauma of being a slave, of his mother dying. Like, he had all of these things that amounted to problems that he would have as a character. And then the issue, like, it builds up his character because he has to develop. And then you've got Luke. He seems all well and good on the surface, but he's not by any means a typical hero. He wants adventure, like what Yoda said: adventure, excitement. A Jedi craves not these things. My Yoda voice is absolutely trash, but you get the point.
And they both had pretty shit starts in their first movie, considering Anakin was a slave. That's not a very good start in life.
And Luke is a farm boy.
He loses none. Yeah. And then by Attack of the Clones, you realise Anakin hasn't seen his mum in 10 years, goes back to her, and she dies in his arms. Luke goes off on a little adventure to find his droids, finds some dead Jawas, and thinks, Stormtrooper doesn't think, it's like, they had turned out to be Stormtroopers that killed them. Where'd they find? The droid they came from. Goes back, his aunt and uncle burnt to a fucking crisp. That's not very good. That's not a great start in life. That's obviously going to affect them mentally. Rey was a scavenger. Okay, that's not very good. I'll admit that's a pretty shit start in life. Just being left as a kid, to fend for yourself, doesn't seem to have held her back there.
See, that's the thing. That's another thing as well. I would have fully backed that story, 100%, if she had character development. She hasn't had character development, and that's her biggest issue. No character development equals no likability. No likability means no cash money for you, Lucasfilm.
No likability means you're sexist, though. Even if you have valid reasoning, you are now sexist. How do you feel?
Anybody watching this video who thinks that we are sexist because we don't like Rey's character, you can suck my dick.
I mean, if people want to call me a hater for not liking The Last Jedi, I have a comment I tried to make on Instagram that was too big to actually comment, and it basically takes up 3 screenshots. I could read through that right now. I have it right here.
Like, I mean, anybody that does believe that Rey has a good character, I'm fully willing to have a nice civilized conversation about it, like
But they will
exchanging
make it so
points.
uncivilized.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Like that's the only reason like I don't talk to people that are Rey fanboys and fangirls because they don't have any valid points. Like
No.
there are obviously going to be some people that do like her character and are going to have valid reasons for liking her character, but they're few and
Hmm.
far between, and they're drowned out by the toxic fans that just like it for the sake of
The
women
blind
empowerment.
fans. Oh, and that too, yeah.
Like
The
Star the
blind
state
fans piss me off as well.
the state of Star Wars now is pure SJW propaganda.
To a mass degree, yeah.
And that is the biggest issue with a lot of movies when it comes to keeping up. The Rocky movies,
Hmm.
for example. Chris, I don't think you've watched them, but
I've
each
only watched the
movie
first one.
was relatively a product of its time. Apart from five had nothing to do with its time period. That we don't talk about that one. But like Resident Evil 4. No, what the?
Resident Evil.
Ro- Forget that. Rocky 4. I have way too many things on my mind right now because I watched the Resident Evil Project Resistance trailer earlier, and I'm fucking hyped for it. But yeah, Rocky 4. It's Soviet Union versus America. That's the message that they send in that movie. And it was a product of its time because tensions were, um, I believe they were high around about that point. I can't remember specifically because I wasn't alive, but you know, like it accentuated something from that kind of time period. And
Hmm.
Star Wars is doing the same thing because we're in an age that I'd like to call call out culture, whereby if you're against anything, you're in the wrong.
Pretty much, yeah.
Everybody has a ground to stand on, even if they have no ground to stand on. Like
Hmm.
that's the point we're at. Like people have become too soft to a point where they can't take legitimate criticism.
Yeah.
Like in real life, there's feminists who I get along with. I would be considered a male feminist. I advocate for women's rights, for women to be treated equally to males, because that's how it
Yeah.
should be. We're all fucking human. We should be treated that way. But then there are some people who believe that women should be getting more than men. Now,
Yeah, so like their idea of equality isn't get everyone to the same level, it's more let's flip it the other way. Which
exactly, and
isn't really how it
that's
works.
not feminism, that's feminazism, which is what people need to understand the difference between. Because in that
Hmm.
feminazism, where they're trying to flip it, I can bet you any money half of those people within that sect are just thinking, oh yeah, we need to get our we need to get our own back on these fat white bastards.
Hmm.
Like, no, that's not how it is. Like, yes, there's been sexism for a long time, but we're getting there. And
Yeah, working
yes,
on
we're
it.
not perfect in every way. We're never going to be perfect in every way. We're never going to be able to completely eradicate sexism, racism, or inequality, discrimination in general. As much as that's a sad thing, it's the truth. The way, the way to, oh great, well, um, give me a second. I need to get into a party with Chris again because I've been disconnected from the party because of a bloody network error. I'll continue my point when I get Chris back. Oh god, that was that wasn't good. Now we wait for Chris, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Like, I know we strayed way far away from the Feige thing, but it's just it spitballs onto different subjects because of the people that could be involved and the people that are involved. Oh, for God's sake, Chris, hurry up. Christopher, you idiot. Join me. Hello. So, well, that didn't quite work. What was I saying?
No. Um, I basically finished it off. I was, I bet, I cannot remember something about sexism or racism or yeah, you
Oh
said about
yeah,
how it is getting better or something.
yeah, it's getting better, but there's no way we're gonna be able to get rid of it, especially with the current attitude.
Yeah.
Because, um, I feel really bad now because I have a quote in my head, but I can't remember who said it. But, somebody asked him, how do we stop racism? We stop talking about it. How do we stop sexism? We stop talking about it. We stop making it an issue and get on with it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, sexism and racism only became a thing because people would promote it. Now it's getting promoted by the people that want it gone, and it's making it worse. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, there's with some things, the best way to sort it out is to ignore it. Give it no ground to get bigger than it is.
Probably, yeah.
But like,
Oh, with a fucking sentence.
yeah. Back to the Feige thing though. I think, personally, that Feige could pull something really good off. I don't know if he could quite save Star Wars. I reckon he could put it on the right track to it being saved. If Lucasfilm, rather, rip LucasArts, if Lucasfilm listens. If Lucasfilm listens to Kevin Feige, they will do well. Because Kevin Feige is a Star Wars fan. At the end of the day, he's like you and me. He's a strong Star Wars fan. So he's gonna know what other fans are gonna want. He's gonna know what's best. And therefore, hopefully, he will be able to do things in a way that Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson weren't able to do. While at the same time keeping at least a level of originality that J.J. Abrams wasn't able to keep in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Try and get rid of that turret.
I am a bit torn with Force Awakens personally. Like, it depends on how you look at it. If you look, like, obviously it does have copy ideas from other films, but I don't know, it wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch. But it's its unoriginality and lack of balls to do anything that stops it from becoming a real movie, in my opinion.
And we get onto the topic of The Last Jedi, but we don't talk about that here.
Yes.
It's just, no, it didn't work.
What we can say is The Last Jedi has, I think, the lowest rating out of all the Star Wars movies that has come out.
Really? I wasn't actually aware of that. Damn.
Well, I think it does. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that.
Goodness.
In fact,
It's got Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace to contest with, but I like those ones first.
when the game finishes, I'll search it up so I'm not just chatting out my arse.
Alright.
They're just funneling through one doorway right now. And with explosive shot on my DC-15 or is it DC-15 or DC-17? This one.
I'm not sure.
DC-15 LE, that's it. Yeah, with the explosive shot on that, it's making it really easy to damage them. but because I have no accuracy, because I'm blind, Chiwetel style, I'm not very good at killing.
Oh. Hmm.
I mean, I have hope for Star Wars.
I do a bit.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily Episode 9. Like, I think Episode 9 could be a great movie. But
It could be.
even if it is, it's not going to help.
No.
It's too little, too late. Because what's going to what it's going to turn out to be is, even if it's a great movie with shit tons of fan service, which is basically everything that The Last Jedi didn't have, like, people are going to be able to just see it's just pure fan service. And because of that, people won't be satisfied with it. Like, I know some people, I don't agree with them, but some people weren't personally satisfied with Avengers Endgame compared to Infinity War, because they felt like it was just all fan service as opposed to focusing on story, which I can see to a certain extent. Like, I can see why people would think that, and I respect people that have that opinion. I just don't share it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I'm stuck. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I thought Endgame was fucking amazing. Was it perfect? Probably not. I mean, the bit when they were explaining time travel took a bit of time to understand. I understand it now. I think it was very good. I don't think there's ever been a perfect film. I think it was very good.
I mean, it's one of the first movies that I've been able to sit down and watch and not criticize it. Like, because I was too caught up in the movie. That's, like, Chris, you know me. You know that's difficult to do. I'll criticize.
Yeah,
I'll criticize an ant for holding a leaf wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you hold it above your head and you don't arch your back. I'll start, like, personal training the ant.
I can actually see you doing that. That's the thing.
Like, that's
You probably have done already at some point.
But, like, that's the thing. Like, it was one of the first movies where I was able to just sit back and not criticize it, and I walked into both Star Wars movies with an open mind, and both times I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Episode 7, I was hoping to get something close to not close as in like similar to, but close in terms of quality to the original extended universe. Because the stories that they had in the extended universe, the original one, the movies just don't compete. Like, obviously that's subjective opinion.
Yeah, because I didn't know much about that stuff. I didn't know how to hold an opinion on that. Oh fuck, it's Chewbacca. I thought it was just a normal Wookiee. Shit. But yeah, I enjoyed it first time watching The Force Awakens. I still enjoy watching it now, just after like watching it the second time and then thinking a bit more into it. I was like, well, actually, I do recognise these aspects from somewhere. Oh, A New Hope. Oh, Attack of the Clones. Oh, other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, again, I don't think The Force Awakens was a bad movie. It just, they've spent so much time hyping people up without actually focusing on how to fulfill those expectations.
Yeah.
And people dick ride that movie so hard, and I can understand why. It's Star Wars. We all so badly want Star Wars to be good. But at some point we need to face the reality of the situation and understand that Star Wars isn't perfect, and there are just things within Star Wars that aren't great. We have that with every franchise. For every Terminator there is a Terminator Salvation. For every Star Wars there is a Last Jedi and sequel trilogy. For every Rocky there's a Rocky 5. Sometimes. For every Rambo we've got the unnecessary sequels. Like, some of the sequels were decent, but some of them were just downright pointless. But like every sequel has a movie that just is subpar or just bad.
Yeah.
Although I struggle to find that in how is the name slipped my mind. How has it slipped my mind?
Describe it.
I can't remember now. It's literally just completely gone blank from my mind. I saw a clone trooper and I was just like, shit. It's definitely a movie franchise that I like, obviously.
Kingsman.
It's a trilogy. I haven't watched I haven't watched the second Kingsman movie yet.
It's good. You need to watch it. But not sure what. It's not the MCU you're talking about, is it?
No, it's not the MCU. Although the MCU is one of those ones that I've. It's the Batman trilogy. That's it. The Batman
Like
trilogy.
the Dark Knight.
Yeah, like the third movie. Yes, it wasn't the strongest, but I don't think anyone could say it was. I don't think anyone can say that it was bad. Yeah.
No,
Like,
I mean Bane is just Tom Hardy's Bane was pretty fucking good.
Like, I mean, when you think about what they had to go through during the development of that movie, as well, like it makes you respect what they did that much more, because they were originally going to go straight from the Dark Knight movie to going into Dark Knight Rises, because the Joker was supposed to be a part of that. Heath Ledger was supposed to be a part of it. They had to change the entire like story to accommodate that. So it wasn't even going to have Bane in it in the first place. They changed the story. 'Cause I doubt if they kept the Joker in there that they were going to have him working with Talia al Ghul. Like, that's not his style. But yeah, it's just like there are some franchises that don't have like a bad movies per se. But even that is it's subjective opinion at the end of it. Oh jeez, I just got launched by Yoda. I wish I could aim.
Yeah.
Micro grenades? No, not micro grenades. Proximity grenades. Can you blow up? Ow. I got killed. But yeah, it's just, like... Star Wars is in a state of complete divide and turmoil.
Yeah.
Think the beginning of the Star Wars Episode 3 title crawl. Just the first word. War! That's the Star Wars fan base right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
And who knows? Episode 9 might be able to reunite the fans in some way.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. It's going to take nothing short of a miracle. And people are saying, oh, George Lucas should have been left to do the story that he wanted. But I agree with George Lucas. Either way, people would have just had issues with it. Oh shit.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, like, people would have shat on George Lucas if he did the new trilogy. It's just because that's the way people are. If something's new and it's not the exact same as what they had before, they're going to have an issue.
Yeah. You can never please everyone. That's the problem. They're trying to, but they just can't.
As much as I liked the sound of George's original ideas for the new trilogy, with having what's it called? The Wills.
The who?
The Wills. I haven't really read into it very much, mainly because it was never like that. This part of Star Wars was never actually canon. It was something that he was writing. But if I remember correctly, they feed off of the Force.
Oh.
And I think there was a book George Lucas wrote. It was like I think it was the Book of the Wills or something like that.
Right.
And that was basically the idea. It was that the entire Star Wars saga, the reason it's written as a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is because it's from the perspective of the Wills.
Oh.
This is like, it's like as if the Wills are watching it on a computer screen.
Okay. That's a bit funky.
Like, it would have been a bit trippy and confusing,
Yeah.
but it would have it would have found a way to tie in the story at least.
Hmm.
And then, like, the original expanded universe, like that would have. I would pay to watch those movies. I would happily pay to watch movies that's based off the original expanded universe, even if they were all put in the title that it's Legends and not canon to the rest of the movies. I would happily watch it.
That's fair.
Because
I
it
probably
would be good. Like, the reason people want a Revan movie is because they're sick and tired of what we've been getting.
Hmm. They want something we know is already good, like a good story, just made into a movie. As long as it isn't altered all that much, like changed, so it fits the new agenda. Hey.
Like, we want Darth Revan. They're not going to be able to change Darth Revan to accommodate like sexuality or whatever. They're not going to They're not going to be able to turn Revan gay or something. And it's not
Gay
that I
with
have
Alec.
any. It's not that I have anything wrong with gay people at all. I really don't have anything wrong with them. But
Neither. Mm.
Revan's story quite literally has him falling in love with Bastila Shan, and that pulls Bastila Shan back from the dark side. And then they have children. And then eventually, within their bloodline, comes Satil Shan, one of the greatest Jedi Grand Masters that ever lived. Not that there was ever really that many of them in the first place. At least in known Star Wars lore. But Bastila Shan was powerful. Satil Shan was powerful. Revan was powerful. There are some things that should not be changed. Which is why when people are like, oh yeah, we need to have more representation of this, that, the other. No, you want more. If you want more, then petition for a new character to be made. Don't alter characters that have already been made and established a certain way.
Don't alter characters that are already known and loved just to fit your agenda. Make one that works. By all means, people may very well like it. But don't change what people already love.
A character a story shouldn't be built around a gay character. A story,
No.
it should be, we're writing a good story and the main character happens to be gay. You should be able to completely take out all forms of pronouns and, you know, genders and sexualities, and it still be a good story. That's the way stories should be written. Not, oh yeah, we've got a female lead, we need to make her overpowered to show female empowerment. And if you dislike it, you are against female power. No, that is wrong.
That's how it seems to be right now. Yeah.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Mm.
And Star Wars has been in this state of being at each other's throats for too long now. It's at a point where I'm not even really keeping up too much with Star Wars anymore, because it's just, it's toxic. And like, yes, you have toxicity in every fan base. Anybody that says otherwise is chatting absolute toilet water, to put it nicely. Every single fan base has its toxic fans and its toxic haters. That will never change. It's just the way it is when you have something that people are invested in. For example, throughout school, I was a very passionate Star Wars fan. I got bullied for it. and I came out okay, mostly. I mean, got enough hair to audition for Chewbacca, but I'd say that's a win.
I see that as an absolute win.
Wrong universe here, Chris.
I know, I'm sorry.
We can make a Marvel Media account if you want.
In time. Hey, just slap it all into one. Just call it media. Oh my god, that's the GCSE course. No, back off.
Yeah, no thank you.
Me
Oh god. Why can't I shoot and aim? I can't aim properly and it's really annoying. Die. I find it more difficult to fight AI than I do real people for some reason. I don't understand.
Same. I'm struggling a bit here. I'm not holding out okay. That's a complete oxymoron right now.
Uh-oh. Well, that didn't last long. So yes, before anybody puts in the comments, yes, I know I'm absolute poo at this game.
Yes.
That's part of the entertainment value when I'm playing something like Heroes vs Villains. And I start raging.
I have a viewer.
Ah.
Hi. Yeah, I mean, neither of us are perfect. We have good moments about. It's like Siege, I find for me. I'm either amazing or god fucking awful.
See, I'm just a mix of good, meh, and absolute dog shite. Okay, that didn't do anything. That's annoying. The L1 ability for the clone commandos only works on regular infantry. It doesn't work on special units because I just used it on a rocket trooper. It didn't do anything.
Ah.
Uh-oh. That's rude.
I mean, at this point, we've kind of run the course of conversation now, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, but who's to say we can't spitball some more?
Are you able to change the title of your stream midstream? I feel like you can. I don't know.
I'm gonna check. Broadcast settings. I don't want to stop broadcasting. View comments. No, well, it wouldn't be view comments. Okay, I didn't find anything, but I didn't look for very long either.
Right, okay. Oh. Yeah. Oh crap, over here, ah! Oh, AI is so scary.
Oh god, I'm getting a lot of lag.
Oh yeah, I'm having weird frame drops every now and again.
Yeah, I think it's literally just trying to stream at the same time.
I was even having it before, like when I was trying this game like the first time. I was having weird frame drops.
Might be the update then. I haven't really played the new update online until this point, so
Maybe, yeah.
lag.
Yeah, so anyone who might see this pretty much sums it up. Feige's getting into Star Wars could be good, could be very bad. Depends on how they play it.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much.
if Feige is given if he's given the freedom to do what he wants to do, then praise Obi-Wan Kenobi, because that means that we're gonna get a good movie.
Hmm.
He's a fan of Star Wars. He's accomplished at producing movies. Look at the MCU. Box office hit after box office hit after box office hit. Like,
The worst ones being, what, The Dark World? The first two Thor films? And still, they were pretty good, in my opinion.
I'd say they're underrated, to be honest. Like, I personally enjoyed The Dark World. Like, it wasn't the strongest film by any means, but I feel like people underrate the movie. But, like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If Feige is allowed to go ahead and basically do what he wants, give the fans what he thinks that they want, then they're going to have a successful movie on their hands. If he does bring Brie Larson in, then she needs to keep her mouth shut.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as in she shouldn't speak at all. I mean, she needs to keep her views, like, when she is talking about her views, to be a bit more respectful when talking about them.
Yeah. Be very careful what she says.
Because it's one thing to talk about the fact that you don't feel like women and black people get as much representation as they, you know, need within the world of critics. But it's another thing to just go at 40-year-old white men for doing their job.
Yeah.
Like, yes, some of them can be harsh. That's kind of in the job description. That's why they are movie critics. They're supposed to be harsh on movies. If they're not being harsh on the movies, then they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I just went one-on-one with a sentry and I beat them with my regular gun.
There's something I worry about with this whole, like, agenda push thing of we must make everything equal. Yes, equal treatment and all that, 100%. I just worry that people are going to think, say, we've got to make everything an equal 50, like, say, between men and women, an equal 50% split. Yes and no.
Well, I mean, I watched the Joe Rogan podcast, and I think it was him and Dr. Phil. They raised a very good point. People aren't equal. Like, we're not built equally. Like, you're built better for swimming than I am. I am built better for, say, boxing than you are. Because that's just, that's where our areas are. Sport was invented by men for men. That's why, generally, females won't be as good. And, on top of that, the male bodies are designed biologically to be superior. To go out and hunt. Like, for example, in tribes of apes, the female apes are weaker than the male apes. They'll band together to fight off male apes. That is just proven fact. That's not something that could be disputed. So when people start trying to dispute, oh no, women are stronger than men, women are just as strong as men physically, they can be, yes. Nobody is disputing that. But science and biology show definitively that men are built stronger. And how does this relate into this whole Star Wars talk, do you ask? Because when it comes to equal representation, not everything can be 50-50. If we have
No.
4 different ethnic backgrounds in a movie, we can't split the runtime 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes.
No.
It
No.
wouldn't work. And the reason that wouldn't work is because it would feel like it's forced. Like how this SJW crap feels now. Like, the SJW agenda in Star Wars is what's put me off Star Wars. And when I say it's put me off... When I say it's put me off Star Wars, I don't mean I don't like Star Wars anymore. I mean, it's... My excitement has been wavered a little bit.
Hmm.
The cranker position needs to fall before we can move on. Let's do this, brothers.
Is this
Where
a
are you?
thing?
What?
I'm a battle droid.
What?
I'm a battle droid.
How the hell? You're still coming
I
up green
don't
on my leaderboard as well.
Oh, same. Wait, go back the way you just went.
Ah.
There's a battle droid. I think there's a battle droid behind you. Yeah, there you are. Oh, you just got killed by ROBA. I watched it happen.
Well,
I didn't even...
this has not gone according to plan.
No, but I mean it works.
Oh, shite.
Hello.
Spawn killed me.
I didn't even know you spawned there. I saw there was an enemy on the scanner. Went round there. You were there. I was like, oh, there you are.
I literally leaned over to check the time on my phone, and then shit. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah. Anyway, back to the thing. Like, equal representation. Like, yes, everybody should have an opportunity to be able to be represented, but movies shouldn't have to suffer for it.
Mm.
If it's a good movie, enjoy it as a good movie, instead of like bitching and moaning that it doesn't have every single gender pronoun under the sun, that it doesn't have every gender, every political viewpoint under the sun. It's just not how it's supposed to be.
No.
Because the more you try and force that on people, the more people are going to reject those ideas. I just saw a green health bar on my screen for a split
That
second.
was me. I just got obliterated.
But why is your thing still coming up green for me then?
I
you're on
think
the
because we're in
enemy
the same squad, we've just ended up on different teams. Can I capture command post A?
Ow.
No, it's ours. How am I supposed to capture command post when my team currently control all command posts? I'm pretty sure.
You have to stop us from collecting them, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, like
That doesn't make any sense.
I said earlier, a movie should be good without having to, you know,
Push an
conform.
agenda. Yeah.
Because movie makers have been castrated.
That's a way of putting it, yeah.
That they feel unwilling to use these very real, very realistic ideas about what happens in the real world because they're gonna get shat on for it.
Hmm.
And that's not fair.
No, it's not. Ah! It's like, it's completely unrelated, but it's something that's crossed my mind. I had a debate with someone about, we put on our Instagram story something related to putting a woman in the White House. And I was like, yes and no. My reasoning was, yes, it's about time that there was a woman in the White House, I agree. It would be good to have a change, for like have a start of something new. I think that's a good idea. But don't just vote for it because we think it's time for a change.
Exactly.
It's like with Trump and Hillary, right? I didn't think either of them were really fit for the role.
Then neither of them were.
No.
Still are.
So people were like, yes, it's about time we put a woman in the White House. Well, if you're going to vote for them just so you can have a change, you're not really voting for a good reason. Like, if in my opinion, it should be whoever's fit for the role. If it means the next president's a woman, cool. If it means there's 10 more men than a woman, cool. But it's just getting too much where people think we must have this equal here, there, everywhere, 50-50 split. We're having it good. Because that won't necessarily be the best idea.
Exactly.
Could be a very good idea. Could be tits up. Very dangerous world. Even when, for the most part, people are doing good things, it's still very sketchy.
Yeah. And the reason things become so much of a bigger issue now is because of the fact that everything is being spoken about by the toxic ones.
Mm.
The loudmouth people that are out there are not usually the majority. It's normally the minority. Oh, we have an Anakin.
Yeah, he yeeted me across the control point.
There was no point in even trying to fight the people behind me, because if I turned around for the person behind me, I was going to get pummeled by the person in front of me.
I'm just lighting up Anakin right now. I almost killed him, but then he blocked, so I didn't kill him. But he's almost dead. Aha, we win. Ah. One man army for the win.
Rethink our strategy for how to get the trade flowing again.
I don't know why it did that. So my arm feels rock solid.
I mean, we're both on the leaderboard again.
I mean, it's only a 4-person game, so we'll both end up being on the leaderboard. I came last though. That's depressing.
It could be worse.
I don't think it can. There wasn't anywhere lower than 4th.
Could have ended up not on the leaderboard at all.
I don't know how that would have happened.
Not finishing the game.
Valid.
I mean, moving on from the movie side of the state of Star Wars, let's talk about video games.
Hmm.
Such as the one that we are playing right now.
Yes. It's
This
gotten better.
game-
It's still room for improvement.
This game pisses me off. Because it had so much potential to be the greatest Star Wars shooter that there had ever been. And they fucked it up. And then they had the cheek to add heroes in, make them really powerful at first, and then nerf them to hell, and then fuck up all of the balancing to a point where everyone can just shrug off force attacks now without blocking, and everybody has some sort of delay on their abilities before it actually fully activates. So there's not really a way to accurately, you know, determine what the best way to fight is.
No. I mean, it's like Anakin, he's a good example. When he first came out, I thought he was way too OP. It was good that he was very powerful, but I thought he was too powerful. Now he doesn't even seem that powerful.
He's not. He's been nerfed to a point where the only way to really work with him is if you're at a distance. Which is bollocks, because we all know that's not how Anakin works. Cue clip of episode 2 here. As you can tell, there is no clip of episode 2 here. Mainly A, because it's a live stream, and B, because even when I edit the 2 live streams that us two have done together, I'm too lazy to put extra shit in.
And
But
you
yeah,
get copyright
like-
claims and it all goes wrong.
I mean, like, Anakin just runs in and just batters whoever's in front of him. It's the way Anakin fights. So the fact that the best way to fight as Anakin is at a distance is utter horse shit. And the only reason it's like that isn't because of the way it isn't because of the abilities. The abilities actually work quite well for close quarters combat. But it's because of the fact that the delays on the abilities prevent you from being able to effectively utilize them in live combat. You need to have the space to be able to use it. Like, when I'm using pull dominance, I need to have enough space that they can't just dodge straight out of the cone, and that they're not just going to be able to hit me with something first because of the delay. Heroic Might. The delay on that ability is ridiculous. To a point now, I'll try and activate it 3-4 times, and I'll die by the time it activates. Passionate Strike doesn't actually do anything anymore. Passionate Strike, it does damage when they're blocking, but that's it. You'd just be better off waiting and attacking them when their guard goes down.
And Retribution, well that doesn't even turn on anymore, does it?
I mean, with Retribution, you'll have it fully charged and ready to be used, and then what happens? It fucking deactivates so you can't use it. What the fuck is that? And then Anakin was the first hero to have this secret special ability, as I like to call it, where you can just, oh, Maul's coming up to me, he's going to use Force Choke. I'm just going to shrug it off like nothing happened. Now everyone fucking has it, and it's fucking bullshit. Anakin shouldn't have had it in the first place, but now they've given it to everybody, which has fucked the game even more, because it means that Force abilities are almost negated. It's a gamble whether they're actually going to fucking work. And then they've got heroes like Rey, who are able to outclass most people. Like, you could be using a Vader with, like, the highest health star cards possible, and she'll still be able to kill you in 2-3 hits. I don't know about Rey fanboys, but I think that's utter bullshit.
It is pretty damn bollocks. I mean, I have been playing as a Vader and been bested by a Lando, but I've also been playing as a Lando and bested a Vader. It's all about how good the player is. But when you've got some characters that are literally just so strong, you cannot do anything. Like, I have been Vader, I've been Palp, I've been Boba, I've been Bosk, I've been Kylo. Go up against the Rey, throw everything I have at her. She's just like, I can swing my lightsaber 20 times in a fucking second and just melt you like fucking butter.
Exactly.
Like,
And before people start saying she had training on Arc 2, huh?
No.
Training? If that
If that's training,
classifies
then we're all Grandmasters.
exactly, if that classifies as lightsaber training, then I could beat her with my eyes closed, hands tied behind my back, and legs tied together. And ears plugged, so I can't even use hearing for that. I'd just be swinging blindly from my back where my hands are.
Yeah.
Because she accidentally cut a rock in half. She didn't mean to do it.
So powerful, so strong. Empowered.
And then she did some meditation.
Well, sitting down. Already one of the strongest force users we've seen on the movie screen.
And then people try and use the excuse, she downloaded Kylo Ren's training. Lazy writing. Fuck off. Miss me with that bullshit.
Hmm.
Because if you're gonna try and tell me that she can just download training from Kylo's mind, then why the fuck does Kylo not have that training? Why have we not seen Kylo be that powerful? Best thing
Yeah.
we've seen him do is probe people's minds and stop a laser bolt, which is cool. Until we realise that he, I was about to call him a she, but he might as well fucking be. He acts like a little pussy. But he gets beaten by a girl that has never used a lightsaber before. I don't care. If you're injured, your skills should be able to pull you through against somebody that's never held a lightsaber before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the greatest at boxing, but if I was, like, I have a friend, they wanted to spar with me one time. I was injured, like one of my arms was injured. I didn't use that arm very much, but I was still able to beat them because I had greater knowledge on tactics and I had greater skill. And people say, oh yeah, you got shot by Chewie's bowcaster. Okay. So?
Yeah.
The dark side is a pathway to many abilities some would seem to say to be unnatural.
Hmm. So in theory, you could still work on it. Like I say, work on it. Be able to still do something. But no.
But yeah, Rey is not a Jedi. Never will be.
No.
I don't care what they say in the movies. I'm not classing the sequel trilogy as part of the Star Wars saga. Star Wars saga deserves better.
Hmm. I'll allow the standalones, they're good.
Oh yeah, the standalones I have no problem with. Even Solo, which people like to shit on. People are only shitting on it because they want change. The only reason Solo failed in the box office was because of the fact that The Last Jedi was so bad and people wanted to get back at Lucasfilm for fucking up so badly. But they don't realise that. They think, oh no, they don't like that standalone movie. No. Read the reviews. It's The Last Jedi that is a problem.
Hmm.
Like, you shouldn't be hiring directors that don't care about the franchise.
Yeah.
It's the last thing that you should ever do. It would be like me hiring, I don't know, somebody that really hates boxing to train me in boxing. Bad idea.
Terrible idea.
It would be like getting me to try and officiate a football match. I'm just going to say fuck off because I hate football.
Overrated as hell.
But like, Ryan Johnson didn't care about the franchise. He just wanted to create controversy. And he succeeded. But that's not a good thing. Because it's divided the fan base.
Wanted to create controversy. He succeeded. But apparently it's not his fault.
No, it's his fault, alright.
Yeah, but then when the fan base reacts to controversy, the fans are at fault. It's like, no, we didn't make this stuff. They made it deliberately, so they should be at fault, but they're not treated as at fault. We are. Somehow that doesn't add up. Wow. It's all a bit fun. I say a bit. It is.
Very much so.
Hmm.
But I mean, I have high hopes for The Rise of Skywalker. I
I'm
have high
nervous too.
hopes for Jedi: Fallen Order.
I have high hopes for the Skywalker Saga Lego game.
I'll be honest, that's basically just going to be what we already have, plus episode 8 and 9.
True.
And the new Lego games don't have the same charm that the old ones did, which is why
No,
I don't
they
buy
don't.
them.
The good streak stopped with the Clone Wars game.
Yeah,
That was the good one. That was a very good game. I
they
love
have
it.
the perfect balance.
Yeah. Still kept class, but added something new in the process. The Force Awakens game wasn't terrible, it wasn't as good. Like, I'll be honest, I am very nervous to hold out high hopes or whatever for this new film.
Yeah, I'm not going to have exactly high hopes. Instead, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. I think it's going to be better than The Last Jedi. Not that it's difficult.
Oh yeah, but that's not difficult,
Like, I could use zero CGI, zero cameras, and create a better film story than him.
Yeah. Oh, you scumbag.
Wait, I said I was going to search something up, wasn't I? I said I was going to search up the ratings for the Star Wars movies, see which one
Yeah.
was actually rated the lowest. I'm going to do that now quickly.
My only nerve with holding any sort of high let's say high expectation, whatever, or optimism for this new film, I want it to be good. I really do. But with the past two, the trailers for the Force Awakens Last Jedi, both amazing trailers. I will not deny that. They're sick. And the movies have been okay, and what the fuck was that? So, I am nervous. It's going to be another one of amazing trailer. Film.
Star Wars movies ranked. This is on Rotten Tomatoes. And
Can
I
we
know
trust it, though?
they're not the most trustworthy place, but I mean, okay, so Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the movie, 18%.
I liked that movie. I thought it was cute.
Episode 1, 53. Attack of the Clones, 66.
8.
Solo, 70.
I think it deserves better.
Revenge of the Sith, 80.
Wow.
Return of the Jedi, 81. Rogue One, 84.
84? Really?
No. Yeah, I'm not
Well.
trusting anything Rotten Tomatoes says.
Why?
The Last Jedi has 91%. I can't even show it properly on the screen.
What?
Trying to show it on the camera, but it won't show.
I get a bit like lethargic to bullshit. Sorry.
Exactly. Critics'
But-
consensus: Star Wars: The Last Jedi honors the saga's rich legacy while adding some surprising twists and delivering all the emotional, rich action fans could hope for. No.
Wait, so
No, no,
what was
no,
it?
no, no.
So what's the whole list though? Like best to worst, or worst to best?
Worst to best, I think.
Yeah, I'll go with that. It was the Clone
Audience
Wars
score though, 44.
I'm not surprised. So like the bottom was the Clone Wars film, then it was Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Solo. Was it Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One? Return of the Jedi was there somewhere as well.
Uh, what was it? Return of the Jedi was just after. It was above Revenge of the Sith.
Hmm.
I'm going to search for audience ratings.
Not like the total ratings of both. Is that a thing?
I don't know. Hopefully I'll find it on the Rotten Tomatoes thing.
Hmm.
Star Wars Rebels is apparently the highest rated Star Wars TV show. No, Star Wars The Clone
No.
Wars.
I've only watched season 1 and I already like it more.
The highest rated movie is Episode 5, which is at 95%.
Okay, I can see that. I can respect that.
But that's critics again.
Hmm.
It doesn't actually say the audience thing, which is annoying.
So what was like? So where is The Last Jedi in total? Like, is it like top 5 or something?
I'm gonna go to movies. Gonna check it. So, so far, second, third, fourth. It's about fourth.
Well, what movies are in what
Sorry.
ranking?
The highest one is Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back.
Hmm.
That's at 95. And then
Yeah.
it's The Force Awakens and A New Hope at 93.
Oh, they're tied. Okay.
And then it's The Last Jedi at 91.
Ugh.
I don't know what movie
This
the
is-
critics watched, but we didn't get to see that movie.
We did not see something like that. No. Oh, Yoda's here. Ah.
Let's look at more info. So only 44% of the audience rated it 3.5 stars or higher.
Oof. Jesus.
It won't let me put stars in. I want to put 1. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it at 0 by not voting.
Do not give it a star. It doesn't even deserve the 1.
Yeah, that's
Ow.
fucking shit.
Hmm.
Anyway, now I'm going to start moving so I don't get kicked out of the game. So I've just been sitting as a B2 in one of the buildings for ages. Miles away.
I've just been rushing in continuously as an infiltrator.
Yeah. In fact, I think we should do a tier list of all the Star Wars movies.
Oh, like best to worst.
Yeah, like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier,
Oh, someone like that.
D tier,
Okay.
F tier. Like, there's not really enough movies to fill up every tier, but it would show the disparity between the movies.
Hmm.
So, The Last Jedi gets its own tier below F tier, which is just called shite.
It is the P tier. Oh, I fell.
Or should we call it the Ray tier?
Right. So shit. I like the sound of that.
Allah?
Yep.
I blew myself up.
Ow. Yeah, so Last Jedi goes bottom. Then it will be...
Next I'd say probably episode 2. critically at least, for me personally.
Oh yeah, so we're thinking critically, not
Yeah.
opinionatedly. Keep forgetting to go down.
I'd still
Okay.
say episode 8 is at the bottom
Mm.
because its pacing doesn't work. It doesn't fit into the franchise, and it tears down everything that we know about the characters already.
Yeah.
Episode 2, it just, there was a lot of unnecessary subplots.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of unnecessary just dawdling around and random stuff that we didn't need to hear about or delve into. And then don't get me started on the romance.
I don't like sand. Cough, rough, and irritating. It gets everywhere.
See, like, I don't like sand either, but I know that's not a good pickup line.
Hmm.
Like, Anakin's a Jedi. He could have used so many different pickup lines instead. Like, for example, hey baby, how would you like to feel my force?
Oh no.
Exactly. It's better than I don't like sand.
Yeah.
How would you like to turn my lightsaber blue?
Oh no.
Come on, the
That would just
possibilities
mean-
are endless.
That would just mean getting him excited and then just dropping him constantly. Eventually, it would go blue. He'd be like, "Oh, blue blade."
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
But come on, that's a better pickup line than I don't like sand. I mean,
I gotta give you that.
at the end of the day, I wouldn't say I dislike the movie, just critically it wasn't great.
Hmm.
And then I'd probably say episode 1.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to do a lot of different things with it, which is good, because they tried different things. But some of it dragged out more than it should have.
I'd say episode 1 gets good once they go back to Naboo. When they go back,
Yes.
it's good. It's very good.
But the problem is the fact that you have to sit through that much to get to the good.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Then, I have an unpopular opinion. Episode 4.
I disagree, but run with it.
The reason I say episode 4 is not because I think it's a bad movie in any way, but compared to the other movies, in my opinion, it is relatively boring.
Yeah.
Like,
I kinda
yes,
see
it's
that.
yes, it's establishing the universe, but it was still very slow paced.
Yeah.
And like, as a kid, I didn't really have a problem with it, but now I sort of notice how certain things could have been just sort of,
A bit quicker.
yeah. Then I would say Solo, then Rogue One, then Episode 5, then Episode 6, and then Episode 3. For me personally.
Where's episode 7 in that?
Oh shit, I completely forgot about that.
I was
Probably-
gonna say, I was thinking, the whole time I was thinking, how are you ranking these all higher than 7?
I'd probably put 7...
Just ahead of episode 1, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'd put it the place below episode 4, definitely.
In between 1 and 4, I can agree with
And I say that not because it was a bad movie, but just because it just wasn't different enough. It wasn't its own. It wasn't a new movie
No, it didn't feel like something new.
because it
It
wasn't.
pretty much the reskinned episode 4.
Yeah.
That's fair. And then my ranking be 8, then, and this is just my opinion of like, I'd say the most enjoyment I have from watching them.
Okay.
I'd say 8 is bottom. Then, very similar, 2, 1, then not because they're bad, I'd say, well, 8 is bad, that's fair. And then 2 and 1, simply because just some bits, yeah, are necessary. 1 could take forever to get really exciting now, after seeing it so many times, it feels a bit dry. Then 7, just because it's a repeat of ideas. It's not bad, it's just nothing new. Then I don't know, I'd probably say 4, just like I enjoy it the whole way through, but it does feel a bit long up until you get to the Death Star. Then it's pretty good, especially the attack on the Death Star. I love that bit.
Oh yeah, I do enjoy that.
And then next, I'd probably say Solo. Did like it. Only seen it the once. Do want to watch it again. And then my opinion might change. And then I'd probably say 5 next.
Okay.
Simply because I feel like it is good, very good. I feel like the whole business of before the actual like Battle of Hoth, just getting up to that takes longer than it necessarily needs to. I'm just like, come on, I just wanna see the Empire attack. Let's go, come. And then Dagobah's cute. And then I don't feel the Bespin. I like the Bespin part. It also just feels a bit long, and I don't know why.
No,
I
I
like
get
the film.
you.
I just feel like it takes a bit longer than necessary.
I get you.
Yeah, but it is a good film. And then next, what have I got left? I've got Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, Return of the Jedi. I think is all I've got left.
And episode 3.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um.
I'm thinking episode numbers in my head.
Oh
really
yeah.
paying
Oh yeah.
much
It started with numbers and then changed the name. Valid point.
I'm not really paying a lot of attention either.
That's fair. I think next I'd probably say probably Rogue One third. I really enjoy watching Rogue One. Obviously, first time seeing it in cinema. I can't remember how I watched it, whether it was IMAX 3D. It was IMAX 3D, I don't know if that was then. But seeing it in cinema, the atmosphere throughout was great. Especially right at the end with Vader in the corridor. The cinema atmosphere is absolutely amazing. But I feel like I rank as high as I do because of how it felt watching it in cinema. I feel like how great it felt made my opinion so high basically.
No, that's fair.
Something else. It was like watching Endgame in cinema. That atmosphere was great, like the whole way through. Feel that, but just for that corridor scene. It really was something. And then 2, Return of the Jedi. I love that film. Even with the backlash of the Ewoks being a bit stupid, how they beat the stormtroopers. Yes! How they just get beaten by some rocks. I think I read some of the Ewoks are meant to be based on like some tribe or something. Like a real life people sort of thing. I can't remember
Yeah.
what.
I think so. I know their dialect is a mix of a bunch of different things.
Yeah. But I do like Return. Like, pretty much stuff on Tatooine. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then when you get pretty much the rest of it is it's pretty much just a bit on Tatooine, and then the massive battle of Endor and all that stuff. I absolutely love that, especially the space stuff. Love that, and stuff with fighting, dueling with Vader and then Palpatine getting involved. Love that. Really interesting. It's great. And obviously, leaving number one being Revenge of the Sith. Absolutely adore that film. Yeah, that's my ranking.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we pretty much have the same ranking apart from our placing of 5. Like, I think
Yeah.
where you placed 5 is where I placed Rogue One.
Probably, yeah. Ow.
I mean, the only reason I don't rank Rogue One higher is because I thought it was a good movie, but it's the fact that I just knew that
Everyone was gonna die.
yeah, so it took away from the tension. It didn't feel like there was that much in terms of consequence there.
Yeah,
Which
I
is-
suppose.
That's generally a problem with making prequel movies and movies that are set in between other movies.
I get that. I didn't really feel that as much, but I do understand that. Because you know they're gonna die, so well, sacrifice them. They're cool.
It's like when watching if you was to rewatch episode like 1 or 2, you see Anakin talking to Padme. When Padme's on screen, she's like, "Huh, he's gonna kill you." Like, because you know that they're gonna die, their story feels less
Powerful, really.
just
Got impact.
not as needed, not as necessary.
Yeah. Oh, I
Like-
understand that.
It's not to say that a story that we know how it's going to end is always going to be bad. It's just when it came to that specific thing, like, it felt more like a spot filler to see what they could do.
Yeah. Well, when the moment came, when the Death Star had just fired and watching it, I did get the realization of, oh shit, they're gonna die. That's it. But I feel like how they did it kind of made up for it in a way.
I mean, their deaths were made impactful, but it's just the constant "they're going to die, they're going to die, they're going to die" that's going on in the back of my head. Like, this is just something I have in my head, like, usually. Like, yes, people would say, "Oh, why don't you feel the same way about the prequels?" But that's because with the prequels, you've got such a time gap between the two movies that
Yeah.
stuff can still happen between that point. Like, yes, they might not survive to the original trilogy, but it's not based that close to it.
No, it's not. There's still quite the gap.
Well, there's a 20-year gap between episode 3 and 4.
Really?
Like, well,
I was
pretty
thinking
much,
between 4 and
because
5 for some reason. Yeah.
yeah, no, episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, just generally, because there's such a time gap there, there's so much more potential for things to be done there. But with a story like Rogue One, you've killed the characters. You can't continue their story. You can write
Yeah, they're already
prequels to
dead
their
before you even
story.
started.
But the
Yeah.
problem with writing prequels, you can't get them to the same point they were in the movie that they died in, because that you need to be able to develop them so they get to that point.
Yeah, if you've already got the set that they're gonna die, there isn't as much point doing their build up, because you could watch the build and be like, well, I know they're gonna die.
Which is why I don't like the idea of a Cassian show. I just don't feel like
Yeah.
it benefits the universe in any way, because at the end of the day, it's not going to change the outcome.
No. I'd probably watch it just for K2.
That's fair.
I like K2. It's funny.
I mean, if they was to do that sort of thing for each of the people in Rogue One, I'd like to see.
Sure.
I want to see how Chirrut got to where he was, like how he found out about the Force and how he learned to use it. I'd like to find out, you know, how Cassian. Like, I want to see Cassian, like, getting K2SO in the first place.
Yeah.
And I want to see them all, like, finding the rebellion in the first place before they meet Jin.
That could potentially tie in another character being made official canon.
Go on.
Potentially Starkiller. Depending on how they did it.
I don't think they'll do it. Ever. I don't think
No,
there's
because
even...
it's not one of theirs.
Oh, for fuck's
Basically.
sake, it spawned me in as an officer. But basically, they won't do it. Yeah, because it wasn't one of their things, but also because he wouldn't fit into the story. Dave Filoni wanted to use Starkiller in Rebels, but he couldn't find a way to fit him in. He's too overpowered for the canon
He is too overpowered.
people. In the
That's
original
my
canon,
only gripe with Starkiller. He's too strong.
in the original canon, no problem. No problem. You've got fucking Luke throwing around black holes over there.
Oh yeah, Legends, yeah. Yeah, if you got Luke doing that, then yeah, add him in, that's cool and dandy.
But then the issue becomes, if they did add a character like Starkiller, they wouldn't be able to do him the way the fans would be happy.
Nah. They won't be able to add all his mass power in, because he'd just be too strong, so they have to dial him down. But then people think he's too nerfed, so they get pissed.
That's one
That's what I think.
reason I want them to stay completely away from Revan. That's one reason I don't want them to do anything with him. Because they're not going to want to show him just disintegrate a Dark Lord of the Sith with a singular energy burst without even trying. Unless he's a female.
Yeah, but then if that were the case, they would do it. They'd be like, yes, empowerment, love it. But no, that's not what the character is. The character is not an empowerment, agenda-based person. This person's kind of a badass. Or this person's an amazing character line, you just need to put into production right.
Yeah,
Not
and get an
actors,
actor
one
who
shot.
can do it right. Like, I don't think any of the actors and actresses have been the problem with the new movies.
No.
I don't think it's ever been the problem with the Star Wars movies. Like, yes, there's been some actors that aren't as good as others, but none of them have been like terrible actors.
No.
Like at doing what they were supposed to do. They followed what direction they were given.
It's just a problem with the direction wasn't very good.
Yeah. But like, even with that, like, you look at Revan as a character. We've spoken about this before. Revan could be played by two different actors for two different periods of time in his life.
Yeah.
One when he's younger, when he's a Jedi going on the Crusades, could be played by Christian Bale.
Christian Bale?
Yeah. The reason we say Christian Bale, he's younger, meaning that he'd fit that sort of more, what's it called, the more eager side of Revan,
Yeah.
the more youthful side of Revan. Then Keanu Reeves, being older, would be able to play the more wise and battle-hardened version that you see later on in the story, the version of Revan that everybody loves.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves would be great for that, I think.
Like, Keanu Reeves already has the look.
Hmm.
He already has the acting ability.
Yeah.
Like, all they'd need to do is give him a half-decent script and a half-decent movie to act in.
And then you've got yourself a Revan right there.
And I think if they was to do Revan or the Old Republic, it would have to be a trilogy of movies. That, like, not just like one anthology. Because the universe that it sets out is so expansive.
Yeah, it is. Something else.
Like, Revan could have a trilogy for himself. And then it could lead to an Old Republic saga of Star Wars movies, which I think could be really interesting. But I don't want Disney to go there because I don't have faith that they won't just find a way to fuck it up and make it more SJW crap.
Hmm.
I mean, I think we might have to trim certain parts of this video.
Well, I'm still going, are you?
Yeah, I'm still going. But it's because the only reason I think that we might have to trim it is because of the fact that there's been a lot of points where we've just stopped talking.
Yeah. And it's been a couple hours now.
Has it? Fucking hell.
Maybe.
And I need to wake up at 6.
Oh my ears!
What happened?
The mic just exploded. Like when you said I need to wake up at six, it was like when you said I need it. Like it's like the mic exploded. I was like, ah.
I hate it when that happens. Because
I hate it when it does that.
I get that when other people, like, it happens a lot of the time when other people are on the mic. But yeah, I need to wake up at 6. I'm gonna have to go.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll just finish this match, and I'll probably go to sleep as well.
Yeah. I mean, you can
Signing off now.
You can continue the live stream if you wish.
I might do, yeah.
But as of now, I'm Dion from Star Wars Media, as you now know, and I need to get some damn sleep because I am tired. How do I stop broadcasting now? There we go.